What's up, you guys? Famous Ashley Grant here, and I'm so excited because today I'm going to walk you through exactly how to get started with RSS.com to start your podcast completely for free. And yes, you heard me correctly. You can start a podcast completely for free thanks to the FLAN Plan, also known as the Free Local and Niche Plan. So we're here at RSS.com right now, and I'm going to walk you through exactly how to get started. First thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the website, and then you are going to click the Sign Up Free button. And from there, you're just going to enter in your email address, and then you're going to pick a password. So let's do that now. And you're just going to accept the terms and then click Get Started for free. And then what's going to happen is you're going to get an email to confirm that this actually is your email address. So once you've done that, you'll check your email inbox for a verification code. You'll enter that code and boom, you're in. You officially have an account with RSS.com. Now, at this point, you can actually start your podcast. Next thing you'll do is you'll go to the new podcast button and you will click that. And then in the title area, you can pick whatever your name you want for your show. And don't feel like you have to completely commit to whatever show name you choose, because the good thing is, since this is brand new, you can always change it later. Once you have your title picked out, then you'll enter in your description. And from there, you'll want to upload some cover art. I'll do that now. And once you have your podcast cover art and your title and your description, then just hit next. From here, this is where you're going to start choosing your categories. For me, I'm going to choose how to. That'll be my primary category. Then you'll choose your language. You have lots to choose from, but I'll choose English. And if you're going to have explicit content, I highly recommend this is the point where you would actually click explicit content. You want to let your listeners know exactly what to expect from your content. Next, you'll enter in your author details and your copyright information. And after that, just hit next. And just like that, you officially have a podcast. Now all you have to do is start uploading some episodes. So let's upload a new episode now. If this is your very first upload, what I would recommend doing is creating a trailer. That way you can introduce yourself and your show. And that could be your first episode that you use to get yourself in different podcast directories. In our case, we've already done the trailer, so we're just going to go ahead and upload our very first episode. So you'll upload your audio, you'll create an episode title, and you'll create a description for what your episode is about. Then you should upload some cover art that is specific to this episode that tells people who are scrolling through their feed that you created a new episode and this is what it's about. They're more likely to hit play on it if they see something that catches their eye. And so what I did in this particular case is I put the title of the episode in my cover art. Next, you'll add your episode number. And if it's your trailer or a bonus episode, you can click those options. But in this case, it's my first episode. So I'm actually going to just click episode number and type in 1. Next, you can choose some keywords that will actually best reflect what your episode's content is about and what listeners are actually searching for. Since this episode is about Wicked and defying content gravity, I might include things that are actually specific to that. So we'll include keywords like Wizard of Oz, add that, defying gravity, podcast ideas, and even how to start a podcast. Now, one cool thing about RSS.com is we have what's called Podcasting 2.0 tags. And one of those is actually you can include where you recorded this episode. What's cool about this is if you are trying to do something that's local, for example, if you have the free local and niche plan and you are specifically wanting to talk about the area you live in, if you put the location and time of the recording into your notes, it'll actually pop up in more people's feeds in the area that you're in. So in my case, I'm in Richmond, Kentucky. So I'm going to say this episode was made in Richmond, Kentucky. I'll search to where it actually is, and it shows up with the city. And then I'll click Save Draft. It'll take it a couple of seconds to process, and then you can actually do some other really cool things with this. Okay, now that your episode has processed, you have some options. You can create chapters, which tell people exactly what points of your episode things are happening at. For example, if I want to talk about the moment we discuss Glinda, I might put in the timestamp of where Glinda shows up. If I want to talk about the moments where I'm discussing Elphaba in her first interactions with the wizard, then I'll put that timestamp in there. And this is just another way that you can get found in search, and it will tell your listeners exactly where they can find everything that they're looking for in your episode. Another thing you can do at this point is add a transcript. If you have a paid plan, you can automatically generate one with AI. If you do not have a paid plan, then you can insert one manually. And I will do that now. And then just add transcript. And then this is where the fun stuff happens. You can either schedule the episode to go live at a later date, or you can go ahead and publish it right away. In my case, I'm going to schedule it to go live later because I'm not quite ready for it to be live. And then you just confirm. And just like that, it is already ready and scheduled to go live at a later date in the future. Now, what's cool about that is it means you can batch record. If you batch record a bunch of episodes, you can have them all scheduled to go live whenever you choose to, so you never run out of content. And in fact, that's what smart podcasters are doing so that they can make sure that they always have episodes ready to go for their listeners, because consistency is key if you want to get more people to come to your show. I'm feeling a little bold, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit publish. And just like that, my friend, you are a podcaster. You have your first episode live and you're officially online. Now, I will tell you that if you click around and you look through the different features that are available, anywhere that you see this lightning bolt, that's what's going to tell you that that is a paid feature. The paid features are things like PodViz, which has a YouTube integration where you can actually create audiograms that go directly to your YouTube channel from your RSS.com dashboard. Other upgrades include paid ads. And with the paid ads, basically the way that it works is once you get 10 downloads, you qualify to have programmatic ads inserted dynamically throughout your episodes. That is a feature that is only available with paid plans. Also, Apple Podcast subscriptions are only available with paid plans. But if you have just the free account, you can still do donations and funding where you can include like a GoFundMe or a coffee or a Buy Me a Coffee, those kinds of things. And Value for Value is also available without actually having to pay for an account. We also have an integration with Code ADX, which basically makes it super simple to create affiliate offers in your show notes that you can share with your listeners. So here's what's going to happen if you go to upload another episode. As soon as you hit that you want to upload a new episode after you have your first free episode, this is where you're going to come to the page where you can decide whether you want a free plan, which is the free local and niche plan, or you can choose the all-in-one podcasting plan or a podcast networks plan. In my case, I'm going to choose free. And at this point, you can say the location of your podcast, where it's made. And again, I'll put Richmond, Kentucky, because that's where I am based. And you can choose to include what location the podcast is about. In my case, it's not about any particular location. It's about something that's niche instead of a location. So I'm not going to include anything there. And then you can also tell more about your podcast if you choose to. But don't worry, you can edit this later. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it blank for now. And if you'll notice, it says in the next step, you'll be asked for a credit card for validation and security purposes. You will not be charged if you choose the free local and niche plan. And this is the point where you can add in your credit card information. But again, you will not be charged if you've chosen the free local and niche plan. And there you have it. You're now on the free local and niche plan. and you can add as many episodes as you choose to. And if at any point you decide that you want to upgrade your plan to a paid plan to get access to all the additional features, you can do that too. So I hope this tutorial was helpful. It was a simple walkthrough, and I think you'll notice that if you go through this process, you can create a podcast in less than 3 minutes. How cool is that? So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you guys have any questions, leave some comments down below, and I'll be sure to answer them for you. Thanks for tuning in.